On behalf of SMUD, welcome to the course, Financing Electrification, Efficiency, and Renewables for Your Business. This is part of the Going All Electric courses, which are developed specifically to support customers in their decision to choose to go all electric in their homes or businesses. My name is Joey Penniman, and I have the privilege of serving as SMUD's energy educator, where my goal is to offer free educational courses to all of SMUD's customers that empower you to make informed decisions about all things related to energy. SMUD is a not-for-profit utility owned by you, our ratepayers, and because we are community-owned, we are focused on our customers. That's one of the reasons why we offer these free courses. This workshop supports SMUD's clean energy vision to have 100% carbon-free energy production by 2030. This workshop is being recorded and will be uploaded to our website. Asterisk on that, I'm actually emailing that directly to you after the course and after I do some editing, and I'll also share it with you. Through that way, and I'm working on YouTube. Just a FYI, we'll have a channel soon. After this presentation, you will receive an email to take a short survey to allow you to both provide feedback about the course and request topics for future courses. We very much welcome your questions and would request that you ask them via the chat area on the side of your screen, or please raise your hand and we'll unmute you. If we can't get to your questions during the webinar, we'll address them at the end of the presentation. There's going to be plenty of Q&A today. Time for Q&A today. If there are any unanswered questions from that, I'll collect those and seek out answers for you and send you an email response as soon as possible. We are offering this course for our customers to learn about how to bridge the financial gap left after factoring in the numerous incentives from SMUD, the state, and the federal government programs that are available to help offset costs and encourage decarbonization. Traditional lending institutions may not be as well equipped to evaluate these cutting-edge projects, so special financing products have emerged with support from our federal and state governments as well as CPUC-governed utilities. These products are helping to empower our customers to choose to go all electric and create the scenario for their business to ultimately join SMUD in our 2030 zero carbon goal. Thanks for joining us today. And now I'm very excited to be able to introduce today's speaker, Jonathan Verhoef. Jonathan is an energy efficiency specialist administering the Go Green Business Energy Financing Program for the California State Treasurer's Office. In this capacity, he serves as a focal point to align private finance companies, contractors, utility program implementers, and small, medium business owners in achieving affordable energy savings in pursuit of California's aggressive climate goals. Prior to his work with the Treasurer, Jonathan served in California State Disability Insurer's Business and Technology Integration section, and as a legislative analyst with LexisNexis, specializing in U.S. Congress. Please join me in welcoming Jonathan to our presentation today. Take it away, Jonathan.
Hello, thank you very much. So I'm here to tell you today about a couple of state-run financing programs for energy upgrades. One is the program that I work on, Go Green Financing, and I'll also tell you about my colleague's program, the California Capital Access Program. So starting with Go Green Financing, the way this works, as I mentioned, I work with the State of California Treasurer's Office, and we are supported by the state's 4 investor-owned utilities. So for SMUD territory, that's PG&E. And the way our program works is that we have participating lenders, and we give them a credit enhancement in the form of a loss reserve that protects them against default. And in turn, they offer improved rates and terms and credit approvals for energy-saving retrofits. We have programs for small, medium business, single family, and multifamily. It's retrofits only, no new construction, but we can qualify quite a bit of different energy saving or clean energy measures that can be installed through the program. And financing is important because even though there's some great rebate and incentive programs out there, there's still a gap to close, getting the final payment paid out, and most customers don't have the money to pay out of pocket. So financing can help by making it so that the customer doesn't have any upfront costs. And we found that customers will say yes to more projects with financing, and they will say yes to larger projects with financing as well. The program is free to join, no cost for the customer or the contractor. Most of our lenders offer some form of pre-funding or progress payments. So if you're a contractor, you don't have to operate out of pocket on these installations. There will either be milestone funding, or in some cases, they will offer up to 95% pre-funding so that you have capital to do the installation. Also, we do not allow any security against the real property, which is important, especially in the case of small, medium businesses, because many of them don't own the property. Because we have private lending, compared to other ratepayer programs, we have very quick approvals and very quick payouts. Many of our lenders have approvals in a matter of hours, and likewise with the payments, a day or so for you to get paid once the installation is complete. We have a lot of flexibility in what to finance, what can be financed. I'll talk about that on a subsequent slide. And we also have an on-bill repayment feature. We're very close to having this live in PG&E territory. And what that means is that the customer can repay their financing agreement through a line item on their PG&E bill. So like I said, we have a ton of flexibility in what we can finance. We tried to accommodate basically any type of energy saving upgrade that is being installed out there in the industry. Heat pumps are an example. We're going to have challenges in paying for heat pumps in SMUD territory, as I mentioned, because we're supported by PG&E. So we need a gas component for projects in SMUD territory. But heat pumps are still on the table if it's a combined gas and electric project. HVAC is another example. Building envelope, cool roofs, pumps, refrigeration. Pretty much if it saves energy, we can qualify it. And that includes the elements of the project, the soft costs or other elements of the project. So if the project requires a panel upgrade, that can also get the enhanced financing through the project. Or if there's, ducts being put in and there needs to be repairs to the drywall, that's included as well. And we have an extra feature where there are other property upgrades that can be folded in. Up to 30% of the enhanced financing can be for other property improvements, like if someone needed to do building repairs or put in a wheelchair ramp or do a remodel, that can also get financed through this program. And we added clean energy generation and storage. Very excited about this. So now we can also finance through the program solar panels, solar hot water, batteries, EV charging, and more. We tried to make our process very simple. We're not trying to supplant the contractor's usual process, so customers and contractors work together to come up with an energy upgrade plan. The customer applies to an approved lender for financing through our program. Then there's a pre-approval process where we just want to know what's being installed and what the funding or what the costs are. And at that point, the lender is confident to release any pre-funding or progress payments and inks the financing agreement with the customer. And that's when installation can begin and money can start changing hands. And then once the project is completed, there is a certification from the customer and the contractor, and any final funds are released. So I mentioned we have a small medium business program and a multifamily program. Those are the ones that I work on. We also have a single family residential program. But I'm going to tell you a bit about the business and multifamily programs. We are agnostic in regard to the industry sector. Most common types of projects we've seen so far are agriculture, retail, and office spaces, but also some food service like restaurants and the like. And for multifamily, it can be either market rate or affordable multifamily. Right now, we have financing on offer from anywhere from $5,000 up to $5 million. And unfortunately, our interest rate buy down promotion, that last bullet down at the bottom, we're fully subscribed for this fiscal year. We're planning to get some more funding in place for around about June of this year. But we were offering a promotional interest rate buy down to get customers' interest rates down as low as 0%. And we're also looking for other sources of funding to do additional promotions. For small, medium businesses, it can be a for-profit or a nonprofit. We've seen quite a few houses of worship come through. And the customer needs to meet any one of these three definitions. 100 employees or fewer, or annual revenues of less than 16 million, or meet the size standards of Small Business Administration. So any one of those definitions will qualify a customer. I mentioned the on-bill repayment feature. This is a big deal because we've been seeing that it's a real selling point for customers. People like not having to cut an extra check every month. And they also like being able to treat the financing upgrade as an operating expense rather than a capital expense. We also have a very custom approach. If you're looking at large projects or large and complex projects, we have a custom approach where a certified energy manager or a professional engineer can certify the energy savings or generation to the program, and we'll qualify projects that way as well. So that's why I said if it saves energy, we can probably finance it because we have multiple ways to qualify the energy upgrade. Here's a few examples of projects we financed. A corner market, that was $26,000. There was an LED upgrade. A dairy farm, that was $227,000. That was LEDs as well as VFD well pumps. That was a one that brought in utility rebates. That's not required to participate in our program, but it's an option. Then we did a combined bakery and cafe. That one was $145,000. We did air conditioning. We did some ventilation as well. And that one utilized our feature to do non-energy upgrades because they were also doing a remodel at the same time. And the last example here is $872,000 for an office building. And that was a whole building project of a chiller, a cooling tower, and a boiler. That was an example where it couldn't be financed through the utilities on-bill financing because it wasn't going to be bill neutral, but we don't have that requirement in our program. Joey, I see you have your hand up.
Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, I noticed that you noted that these were I'm assuming leased spaces on a couple of these examples. Is there a lease term requirement that you have in order to qualify for certain thresholds or certain equipment?
Not for our program, no, but the lenders might. Each lender is going to have their own thresholds of, of what's a credit-worthy project. But because we have a credit enhancement, the people are going to be more flexible. Our lenders are going to be more flexible on how they qualify particular customers.
Got it. Thank you.
Certainly. So there's links in this deck. If you are a contractor or a project developer and you would like to participate, when the deck goes out, you can follow these links to take the training and submit an application to participate in our program. And if you are a customer or a contractor, there's links as well to our participating lenders. And now I'd like to tell you a bit about a different option, the California Capital Access Program. So our program is supported by utility ratepayer dollars, as I mentioned, which is why there needs to be a PG&E component if you're going to finance projects in SMUD territory. However, the Capital Access Program is a taxpayer program, and that doesn't have that restriction. So this is administered by our sister agency at the State Treasurer's Office. And they have a very similar approach to what I was describing before. Participating lenders who have a backstop that protects them against default, and that allows them more flexibility to qualify customers and to offer better rates and terms to customers through the CalCap program. We do need the customer to be a small, medium business, but I believe their thresholds are actually much higher. Let me just pull up my script here. Because I think they can get up to much higher numbers of employees. Just a moment. Yeah, 500 or 750 employees will qualify someone as a small, medium business through the CalCap program. So they have flexibility there as well. And there's also a zero emissions vehicle program. So if you or any of your customers are interested in electric vehicles, then there's a program for that as well. And you'll see that there is a QR code up at the top. So these slides, when you get them, you'll be able to scan the QR code and get more information about these programs as well. So enrolled, loans can be anywhere from 25,000 up to 20 million. It's not just a loan for energy improvements like it is with our program, with the Go Green Business Program. This can also be for capital access. If the customer needs access to cash, then this program can be used for that as well. You can see down here, there are examples: inventory, equipment, facilities, and working capital. So to get more information about the CalCap program, please use these QR codes and you can get links to sites with a lot more details about the program. And this is the contact info for CalCap. And then here's my info. For Go Green Financing, you will want to go to gogreenfinancing.com. And that concludes my presentation.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. And I'll wait for some questions to come in specific to those two different financing entities that are available for our customers. Again, Jonathan's joining us from Go Green, California Treasury Department. And then CalCap is another option that is out there that has a little bit more accessibility to it and a little bit more freedom as to which measures will qualify. Both are great programs here to empower you to be able to pursue those decarbonization measures. And please do type the questions you have in the chat, and we'll get to those. And while that's happening, I think Chadrick, are you on the line to join us to talk a little bit about SMUD's incentive programs?
Absolutely, yeah. Pleasure. Chad McInnes, I'm the supervisor for the commercial Go Electric programs here at SMUD, helping commercial customers from throughout the Sacramento, the greater Sacramento area, convert any of their gas-fired systems over to electric, and have a little bit of a little screen share that I want to kind of take over here and just kind of speak to some of the programs that help our commercial customers in our region, where these programs are perfect to align with some of the Go Green financing here that you're learning about here today. So as far as the Go Electric page, I'm going to be putting a little link in the chat here for the way to navigate to SMUD's page to help commercial businesses. But the page has a good amount of information available to commercial customers that are interested in maybe some of these projects that qualify for this Go Green Electric financing. So the programs themselves that kind of cater to specific customer base, having multifamily financing and having a multifamily program are uniquely qualified to helping the commercial customer figure out what's in store for receiving incentives that can reduce the amount of financing that they ultimately need to apply for on a either a per measure basis or for the entire site at large. So SMUD provides comprehensive incentives for multiple different types of customers. So if you're doing brand new construction from the ground up, our integrated design solutions program here is going to be an excellent way for you to achieve not only above code incentives that will result in equity savings for your project, but will also uniquely enable your facility to save money on your energy usage into the future. Our custom retrofit program is uniquely designed for those large industrial type customers with significantly large loads at their site, overcome some of those challenges and maybe take a bigger return on investment approach to converting some of the large industrial processes that are at a commercial site. And then finally, and not least by any means, is our Complete Energy Solutions program, right? That delivers a turnkey solution for all customers that are small to medium size, who are looking to be matched with a contractor that can perform the work. You'd be able to receive cost estimations and receive a proposal from SMUD of what it would take to have a contractor complete these by utilizing SMUD's contractor network to align contractors and take some of that legwork out of getting projects done. And so with the financing option here available to SMUD customers, I think that any one of these programs is well suited to help But I'd be remiss to not mention that we also have commercial vehicle charging that can attribute to some incentives for installing not only the chargers themselves, but even infrastructure as it relates to the enabling the chargers to be interconnected to the grid. And so, speaking of the grid, SMUD offers a no-cost upfront evaluation. Uh, the commercial customers, and or their contractors can utilize a form that's quick and easy. You just let us know what the meter number is, and in 7 to 10 business days, SMUD will turn around what the capacity is for your site to help you plan for some of these things that you're receiving financing for. So a lot of this infrastructure capacity evaluation piece can be the basis or the starting point of planning an electrification project or an energy efficiency project at your commercial site. So a great way that SMUD just brings value to the greater Sacramento area and the customers we serve to help them plan their projects, to help them get these projects to lift off and really capture carbon savings as we get into our 2030 clean power city goals to our community. So for that, I'll put some links here into the chat, and we'll be able to answer any questions. But yeah, kicking this back over to Joey, and appreciate you allowing me to speak to the group today.
Awesome. Thank you, Chadrick. And as a former account manager, I'd also call out that one of the big value adds of the programs Chad mentioned is that there's also a lot of technical assistance that can go along with the way. Sure, there's a six-figure incentive available, and that's powerful. But if we could come to the table and recommend some alternative methods, potentially pay for some studies in some circumstances, and come up with an overall cheaper cost, that may be worth more than the incentive itself. So we have that technical assistance on staff as well to support you on that journey. And with that, Chad's going to be putting that stuff in there. Cameron, you've been very patient. I think you should be able to unmute yourself to ask your question, and please fire away when you're ready.
Yeah, hi. My name is Cameron Guy, Tier C. I work on SMUD's commercial program. I had a question for Jonathan. You mentioned the PG&E requirement for, like, let's say a fuel switching project, like a heat pump, for example, through SMUD. Could you describe what you meant by is there like a requirement or some sort of component there via PG&E that would be needed?
Yeah, because we are supported by the investor-owned utilities energy efficiency program dollars, we need to be able to save energy for the IOUs. So we're able to qualify projects in SMUD territory so long as there is a significant gas saving component. We built in some flexibility to include electric components in muni territory. But for example, if a project is, say, $70,000 HVAC and then $30,000 lighting, we could qualify the entire thing for enhanced financing through our program. But if it's a full electrification project, then we're not able to do that. So there needs to be a gas saving component for PG&E as part of the project. Does that answer your question?
Kind of. So let's say let's say there's 1,000 therms saved from a gas to an electric heat pump. Would you just need to see the 1,000 therms on paper through an application?
Unfortunately not. We would like to do full electrification projects in muni territory, but we're not authorized to do that. We need to, when I say gas saving, I mean it needs to be gas saving measures like, that's why I mentioned HVAC, a dual fuel HVAC that's saving both gas and electricity. That will treat as, fully qualified as saving energy for PG&E. But if it's a fully electric project, then we're not able to qualify it through the program.
Okay, so like a fuel switching project is not eligible.
Yeah, not unless it's got a big gas component. If you're doing a boiler and also some fuel switching, we might be able to do that. I'm sorry for the complexity, but that's the restriction we have.
No, I was just trying to clarify. Thank you.
Certainly.
And to clarify a little more, Jonathan, when you're saying about those qualifiers, you're talking specifically about the Go Green option discussed first. and not the
Correct.
Cal Cap option, which doesn't have those same restrictions. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's correct. Yeah, because Go Green Financing is a ratepayer program and CalCap is a taxpayer program, so they don't have that limitation in SMUD territory.
So Cameron, your scenario, if it was a full electrification scenario that didn't qualify for Go Green, there's still that Cal Cap option out there that is accessible to our customers.
Okay, thank you.
Got it. Right on. I am watching for any other questions in the chat or any hands that raised in the last bits here. That's what we had for a presentation for you today. If there's any particular projects that you wanted to share or discuss, these two people between Chadwick and Jonathan, you've got two subject matter experts that can really help you out and guide you to the right product or solution for you or the program in SMUD's case. And if there aren't anything specific, if there isn't anything specific, the first call to action for all of our business customers is to contact your dedicated strategic account advisor within SMUD. We have a fancy word for an account manager. We call it a strategic account advisor, but every one of our commercial customers has someone dedicated to them on our commercial delivery team. If you ever want to get in touch with your SAA, you can always come through me. I'll be happy to make an introduction, or you can go online and there are some resources. Thank you. I think Chadwick put in Find My Advisor in there. There's an online tool. You type in your information about your business and it'll find out who that person is for you. And they're going to be able to walk you through all things SMUD, from billing to programs to the free services that we have available, and be able to steer you in the right direction, really help out to unlock that access. It's there for you, but it's sometimes nice to have somebody in the know. The world isn't becoming a simpler place as it relates to energy. So having someone like that to guide you through some of these programs and some of the loopholes and the nuances is really handy. And that's what's so wonderful about having a partner like Jonathan here to kind of talk to us about the Go Green and the CalCap. So I'll say thank you to Jonathan for joining us. He filled a gap in the last week, so special thanks for that, rising to the occasion. And as always, thank you to Chadwick for joining us to talk us through the amazing commercial programs that SMUD has available, free, no charge for anything that we have up there. Please reach out anytime and just find out how we can help. We're here to do so. And with that, I don't see any more hands. I don't see any more chats. So we'll call it a day and say thank you very much for your time and coming to join us to learn more about how to finance electrification for your business.